All right, it is rhythm time, people. Let's do this thing. My turn first. Ready? To, ti, ti, ta. My turn. Ta, ta, ta. Back to me. Ti, 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 to. And back to me. Ta, ti, ti. You got it. Let's do the whole thing. Ready? A 1, a 2, and ready from the top. It's to, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, 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 to, ta, ti, ti, backwards go. Ti, ti, ta, to, ti, 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 ta, 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 ti, ti, to. I like it. Let's try, try this. Instead of speaking the rhythms, let's just do the movements. Movements only from the top. Ready? 1, 2, and movements go. Pretty cool. Do that same thing backwards. Just the movements, no sound. Here you go. You got it. You can probably hear my dogs running around like crazy people around my house. They're playing with each other. So that's what the weird noise was, if you were wondering. Just the doggies having fun. Hey, nice job on rhythms, you guys. Hello, third graders. I have a story for you that has a lot to do with our instrument families, which we've started talking about last week. Remember that there are string instruments from the string family, woodwinds, there are brass, and there are, oh my gosh, string, woodwind, brass, and percussion. Sorry, I couldn't think of the fourth one. So I have a fun story for you that involves each of those 4 families, and it also happens to be a little bit silly and a little bit funny as well. It's a story called I Know a Shy Fellow Who Swallowed a Cello. Now you might be familiar with stories like there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I don't know why she swallowed the fly. It's the same idea, except this crazy guy is swallowing musical instruments of all things. And it's just kind of funny and fun, and I really like it. So here's I Know a Shy Fellow Who Swallowed a Cello. I know a shy fellow. Now notice how skinny he is, because he's not going to stay skinny. Who swallowed a cello. It's going down. I'll try and really show you the pictures because they're fun. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. Bellow is like make a big sound. Okay? Now the cello is part of the, which family is that again? The string family. All right, let's see what comes next. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a harp. Now look at how big that harp is. And now that he's swallowed it, he's taken on the whole shape of the harp. Isn't that crazy? But you can still see the cello through the middle of him. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a harp. Not so sharp to swallow a harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. Now, let's see. The cello is part of the string family, and the harp is part of also the string family. All right, let's see what this crazy guy swallows next. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a sax. Now, sax is like a shortened word for saxophone, so he's swallowing a saxophone. Hard to relax when you swallow a sax. He swallowed the sax to jam with the harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. So you can see he's taking the saxophone from the saxophone player. And let's see, ooh, saxophone is a little bit tricky as far as what family it's in because it looks brass, but it is not brass. That's kind of like a little tricky thing. It's not a brass instrument, it is a woodwind instrument. All right, he's gonna swallow more stuff, people. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a fiddle. No time to twiddle when you swallow a fiddle. He swallowed the fiddle to jam with the sax. He swallowed the sax to jam with the harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. He's taking the fiddle from these guys over here. Now a fiddle, by the way, if you don't know what that is, it's exactly the same as a violin. They're interchangeable terms. So if you ever hear someone talk about a fiddle, they're talking about a violin. So you can see the fiddle, violin, is going down his throat. And there's the cello, and the saxophone is kind of wrapping all around, and the harp is taking up that whole space. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a cymbal. Ooh, what family is the cymbal from? Oh, we didn't talk about the violin. Violin is also part of the string family. And the cymbal, like the crash cymbals, what family would that be? How about the percussion family? Because remember, for percussion instruments, those are things that you either have to hit, scrape, or shake. So the crash cymbals only make sound if you crash them together, so that makes them percussion. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a cymbal. Not so nimble to swallow a cymbal. He swallowed the cymbal to jam with the fiddle. He swallowed the fiddle to jam with the sax. He swallowed the sax to jam with the harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a flute. Oh, what family is the flute from? Thoughts? How about woodwind? Aha, flute is from the woodwind. That was a hoot to swallow a flute. He swallowed the flute to jam with the cymbal. He swallowed the cymbal to jam with the fiddle. He swallowed the fiddle to jam with the sax. He swallowed the sax to jam with the harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow, there goes that flute. Can you imagine swallowing something that long? I can't. It's clearly a rather silly story, right? Oh, this is an interesting one. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a kazoo. Strange thing to do to swallow a kazoo. He swallowed the kazoo to jam with the flute. He swallowed the flute to jam with the cymbal. He swallowed the cymbal to jam with the fiddle. He swallowed the fiddle to jam with the sax. He swallowed the sax to jam with the harp. He swallowed the harp to jam with the cello. I don't know why he swallowed the cello. Perhaps he'll bellow. Now a kazoo, by the way, notice in the picture they're showing a little birthday party. Because a lot of times you'll see a kazoo as like a little thing you'd get in a treat bag. They're very tiny, and you blow into it, and it makes kind of a buzzy, funny little instrument sound. It's not like an orchestra instrument, so that's why you wouldn't see it labeled as anything certain as part of the families. But if we did have to put a label on it, because you blow into it, and it's not made out of brass, I would call it a woodwind instrument. Let's see what's next. I know a shy fellow who swallowed a bell. The teeniest, tiniest, petite casque bell. That's just a type of bell. He took it off the cat's collar, right? Now, a bell like that isn't really a traditional instrument that we'd think of, but it is an instrument. What kind of family do you think that would be? Think of how you play it, right? You have to shake it back and forth, which puts it as part of the percussion family. Well, his belly it wiggled, his belly did shake. It rumbled and tumbled, it quivered and quaked. It rocked and it rolled, it swiveled and swelled, and all on account of that wee little bell. It's like the bell was the very last thing that his stomach could possibly take. So, oh my gosh, look at his face. Ha! So, he belched and he burped. He turned shades of yellow. It seemed he was doomed, that very shy fellow. He weaved and he wallowed, he stomped and he yelled. And the very next thing he knew, out jingled the bell. It just came out. Kind of weird. But let's see what happens next. Then, out buzzed the kazoo, out tooted the flute, out crashed the cymbal, that noisy galoot. Out flashed the fiddle, out sizzled the sax, out strummed the harp, he played to the max. Well, he bellowed, that fellow did bellow. Look, oh my gosh. And last but not least, out cha-cha'd the cello. So he's back to his old skinny self. And you can notice that all of the things that he swallowed created their own little band. Kind of funny, right? And now the cat is the conductor of the band. Huh. Kind of funny. I know it's strange. Nobody could swallow any instruments like that. But sometimes a little bit of silliness is a good thing, right? And we got a chance to think about some different instrument families, which is always a good thing. Nice job, you guys. So, third grade folks, I wanted to talk to you today about some rhythm fractions. Now, fractions are things that we use during math time, right? And you're probably thinking, Mrs. Ethier, we're doing music right now, not math. Well, you'd be absolutely right. However, there is a lot of math hidden and tucked away inside music. And I'm going to show you one of those ways today by using fractions. Now, fractions are probably something you're just starting to get used to a little bit in math, okay? Fractions just mean you're taking a whole something and you're splitting it into different pieces and different parts, okay? So, I'm going to use the idea of like a pie or a circle. Okay, it's not a beautiful circle, but we'll pretend, okay? So there's our circle. That's a whole entire circle or a whole pie, right? Now, you've got a friend that you want to split the pie with, so you're going to cut it in half. Okay? So now your whole, you've split into two different pieces. So this is 1/2 and this is 1/2, right? Well, now you have 4 people that all want to share, so then you cut it in half again. And now you have 4 equal parts of your pie to give away, right? So this is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, okay? So now let's tie that to music real quick. So think back to, say, when we do our rhythm of the day. Whenever we do our rhythm of the day, each line of our rhythm is always equal to 4 beats. Like ti 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 ta ta, ti 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 ti, or with half notes to ti 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 ti. It's always equal to 4 beats, okay? And look, there's 4 pieces to our pie. So we're gonna think of those 4 beats like a line of music in our rhythm of the day as this whole pie. So this is 4 beats of sound, okay? So I want you to think of something really quick. So a ta, which we use all the time. Remember, ta is 1 beat of sound, okay? It also has an official name called a quarter note. Now a quarter, how many quarters are there in a dollar, do you know? A quarter equals 1/4. So there would be 4 quarters in a dollar. And there would be 4 quarter notes in our pie, in our rhythm, okay? So what about a TT? Okay, so TT, we always see our TTs like this, right? Where they're really 2 different rhythms, but they're glued together by this little bar. Well, TTs can also be by themselves. Did you know that? Just a single TT. That would look like this. And it has this cute little flag over the top. I'm drawing really sloppily, but that's okay. So this little rhythm here with the flag is like a single TT. It's like taking this TT and going and cutting it in half, okay? This cute little note right here is called an 8th note. Now an 8th is another fraction, isn't it? Instead of a 4th, now we have an 8th. So this one by itself is 1/8. But if we put two of them together, like what we normally see in a rhythm, it's actually the same as a ta, 1/4. So for instance, I could go like this, ta, ti, ti. I'm writing really sloppily, ti, ti, ta, couldn't I? See how each of those rhythms takes up 1/4 of our little pie here? Okay, now what if I change it up and instead of this TT here, I could put a rest. Does that change anything? Nope, because a rest is exactly the same as a ta. It's 1/4. So I could do rest, 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 rest if I wanted to, couldn't I? Now the one tricky one that we've seen is the half note, to. Notice how it's half. It's a half note. So let me write that down. Yep, equals 1/2. A half note. So if you use, I'm going to just use my fingers here. If I use a half note, that takes up half of my rhythm. So I could have ta, to, ta. And that equals our 4 beats, but my half note took up half of the circle, didn't it? Ooh, does that make sense, third graders? I hope I didn't just explode your minds, but I wanted to kind of show you some of those connections between music and math. Okay, there are actually a lot of them, but for now we'll just leave it here, thinking of our circle and how each rhythm that we choose takes up a certain part of that circle, doesn't it? Way to go, guys. Nice job. Okay, folks, I have a movement activity for you that we have never ever done before. I've taught it at another school, but I've actually never taught it at Tahoma Elementary. And it's a really fun, kind of silly movement activity called Tony Chestnut. Okay, and Tony Chestnut is all about the words to the song. So, I'm going to sing the song for you and do the movements. Your only job this time is to watch and see if you can figure out how the movements match the words, okay? And then I'm going to kind of teach you how to do it. It goes like this. I'll do it slowly. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. Do you see what I did? So all of the words toe, knee, chest, nut are all parts of your body that you're pointing to as you speak the words or sing the words. So it's tricky to do. And yes, we will eventually go faster and challenge you a little bit, but we'll start really, really slow. Let me teach you the song part first, and then we'll add those movements. My turn. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. My turn. Tony knows, Tony knows. Tony knows, Tony knows. My turn. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. My turn. That's what Tony knows. That's what Tony knows. Okay, so think about the movements for a second. We have toe, knee, chest, nut, like if you say you're nuts, right? Nut, nose, eye, love. We all know this is a love sign. Love, you, Tony knows, Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. Can we try it? We'll do it so incredibly slowly. I pinky promise. Yes, we will sing it and we'll do the movements slow. Let's do this, people. Ready? Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Oops, I messed it up. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. Can we do it faster? We're gonna try. Not too much faster, just a little. Here we go. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. It's a little bit like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right? I feel like this one's maybe even a little harder. Faster, people. We're gonna try it. We're gonna be successful. Ready? Okay. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. Faster. Ready? Tony Chestnut knows. Ah! No, restart. It never happened. Forget it ever happened. Okay, ready? Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. That was not very good. Oops. I bet you did better at home than I did. Can we do it faster? I don't know. I will try it one more time faster. I don't know if my brain can handle it, but I will try. Ready? Final time. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows. Tony knows. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. Hey, I did pretty good that time. Whoop, whoop. I don't think I could go any faster though. But it's one of those things you could challenge yourself at home. You could teach it to your family members and see how they do. I bet mom and dad will struggle with that one a little bit. Okay? So there you have it. There's Tony Chestnut. Okay, third grade. So as always, I hope you had a wonderful music lesson this week. And for your assignment, what I would like you to do, and you can just type this in a private comment. You don't have to take a picture or do anything fancy like that. I just want you to give me an example of an instrument from each family. So you might say brass, trumpet, or I don't want to give you any more examples. I want you to think about our 4 instrument families. Brass. Should I give you some options? Maybe like trumpet, trombone, French horn. Woodwind, like flutes, clarinets, saxophone, bassoon, oboe, things like that. What's another family? String family, like violin or cello or string bass or harp or guitar. There's a lot of string options. And percussion would be things like drum, piano, xylophone, maraca, like a shaker would be one. There are lots of different options, but I want you to give me an example of one instrument from each instrument family. And no, you don't have to spell it perfectly, but I need to be able to understand what you're at least trying to type. So if you don't spell it perfectly, that's fine, but if I really can't figure out what instrument it is, then that's not super great. Okay, so do the best you can with spelling, and nice work, everybody. Bye.